How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the comedian Sarah Silverman appearing to, in some people's assertion, go down the red pill path. She doesn't want to be Democrat, doesn't want to be Republican, wants to be more independent. Now, I don't think that's really what's going on here. I think she is simply frustrated. But before I go any further into the rabbit hole, let's go ahead and roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see and hear what she's talking about. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what she said there. Then I give you the rest of my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
It's the absolutistness of the party I am in that is such a turnoff to me. It's so elitist. For something called progressive, it allows for zero progress. It's all or nothing. No steps toward all or nothing. Again, righteousness. And I've been thinking about this a lot, just in general. I don't know that I want to be associated with any party. I think I don't want to be associated with any party anymore. It comes with too much baggage. Every party, it comes with so much baggage that no ideas can be taken at face value. And without ideas, what are we? Without a common truth, how can we talk about it? Republicans might hear an idea that they would totally agree with, but if it comes from AOC, then they hate it. And of course, to be honest, when I hear an idea that comes from a Republican, it's suspect to me. We all put too much on this stuff. We no longer are able to be a nation of ideas.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, do you think that was a red pill moment? I don't. Not at all. I think she's upset the Democratic Party are not going far enough. I think Sarah Silverman admires AOC to the core. She feels like AOC, in my humble opinion now, I think she feels like AOC is the future of the Democratic Party. And since they're not rallying around her and just this Democrats' brand new Congress, then, it's all one way or nothing. You guys don't want to really progress. You guys don't really want to go into the future. You guys pretty much want to stay behind. That's what's going on. See, some are trying to give her praise because she's just saying, hey, my party's not really doing right. And I feel like they're not really, embodying my principles. Now, some of that is true, obviously, but really, she's still on the left. This is not her just trying to come over to the right or extend an olive branch or do anything of the sort. It's not even like that. She wants to go further to the left. This is the same person that tweeted about 2 or 3 years ago about how utility marks on the sidewalk look like Nazi symbols, like swastikas. And it's like, can these neo-Nazis get any more brave and bold? It's like, ma'am, come on. It's not that deep. You have Hitler vision, basically. But I digress. The whole point is that this is not a person that really wants to be on the middle of the spectrum or somewhere on the right. She wants to be further to the left. Okay. Now I know the whole utility mark thing was in 2017. I get it. But then there was another remark from the same kind of Twitter podcast, whatever she got going on, about so-called living wage.
The Walton family that owns Walmart, they pay such an unlivable wage that they actually instruct their employees on how to get welfare, meaning we, the taxpayers, are paying the employees of the richest family in the country.
So if you're talking like that, I think what may have triggered you to talk about how the Democratic Party is not really going right is how they voted on the minimum wage thing. I think there were 8 Democratic senators that voted against the minimum wage hike. So that may have triggered you to be like, hey, what's going on? Do we really want to progress? What's happening? Because they didn't do what you want. But really what you want is more of an extremist point of view. You're not a normie. See, the thing about it is a lot of Democratic normies are feeling like they're homeless politically because they're not really into all these weird things you're into. Okay, you're into the weird stuff. And what's funny is that she talks about, the absolutism, all this and that, and the third. People like AOC are the absolutists. And it's funny how she mentioned AOC. She has spoken about her a lot on her little podcast and on Twitter and whatnot. But an example of absolutism coming really from the left and not really from the right is when the whole thing with Robinhood and the GameStop stocks happened. And AOC tweeted that, hey, we need to look into this whole Robinhood thing. What's going on? This is not right. They're stopping the trader stocks. So she put it out there, and a lot of us agreed with her. Ted Cruz agreed with it and said, hey, I agree, right there on Twitter publicly. And then what did AOC do? Oh, hey, this ain't the time. This ain't it. You try to have me killed. Just totally stomped the olive branch into wine. So it's like, okay, if you're talking about the absolutism, that's on your side, on the Democratic side. And especially on the far left where you desire to be. AOC is one of these absolutists. Ilhan Omar, all the rest of them, they're absolutists. They're willing to fight a Democratic Party, which they don't really do that much, to get their way. They're the absolutists, all right? It's not really on our side at all. So don't try to say, oh, Republicans wouldn't want to do. Nah, we want to try to be bipartisan, reach across the aisle and make deals, but the left doesn't want it, okay? It's really a war going on between the left and the left. It's not a left and the right. It's the left and the left, okay? The left and the right are always going to disagree on certain things. That's just really what it is. But the bigger war, the bigger absolutism is happening with the far left and the left, and then the far left and the right, which Sarah Silverman wants to be a part of, from what I'm able to see, from what I've read, what I heard from her, and what I see just in general about the far left. She wants to be over there. So, no, this ain't no red pill moment. This is just her not getting her way by being a far leftist. And as I close, I want to say this. The mentality of, well, we got to get our way on the far left, we got to bring the party all the way to the far left, is going to really damage a Democratic Party, because your regular everyday normies are going to feel how Sarah Silverman says she feels about not having a home and things being weird. Absolutism, they're going to feel like that. But they're just regular everyday normies, not wanting to be involved in thruples, 3 dads on the birth certificate, and drag queen story time, 2-year-old kids getting hormones and puberty blockers, all this, that, and the third. They don't want to be involved with that. So they're going to be kind of just like, okay, what do I do now? They're going to be kind of right by default, or just not voting at all. This whole independent libertarian thing, I feel like, is abused for people that don't really have a political home or don't really have any kind of moral footing, no kind of moral grounding. Either or, it's like, okay, you're not getting what you want from a political party, or you don't have any kind of moral standing yourself, so you don't have any kind of boundaries. You have boundary issues. Therefore, you want to be part of a thing that you think has no boundaries. But libertarianism does have boundaries, or at least it should, okay? See, you got a problem with that party too, as I close through this time. You got real libertarians like Rand Paul, Ron Paul, guys that I respect and always have since I've known about who they are. Then you got guys, I forget who it was, the one guy that took his pants off on stage, other guy, Gary Johnson, taking his tongue out on reporters. You got nut jobs like that, weirdos like that, that go become libertarian because there's no boundaries in their humble opinion. So they can get butt naked on stage and it's fine. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Sarah Silverman said? Do you think she's really having the red pill moment, that she wants to extend the olive branch to the right and the right somehow doesn't want it? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. Or is it just her expressing frustration? She's not getting what she wants over there. They're not going far enough. They're not doing alien, transgender, multiple person, furry, dog, cat marriages. They're not doing just this really weird and random stuff. They're not raising the wage high enough. They're not doing whatever she wants. If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at with it. I think that some people are genuinely not feeling like their party represents them. Okay, I've seen that a lot from guys like Vernon Jones, who was a lifelong Democrat, but the Democratic Party got too weird, so it was like, what do I do now? I'm going to go over here and be with these guys. But then you have people like Sarah Silverman, who are stone cold, stomp down liberals, will always be liberal Democrats, but they want the party to go further and further and further and further into the abyss of ridiculousness. That's what's going on. So I think there's two different camps here. And I feel no way, I feel no sympathy for those that are just the far leftist weirdos. But I do feel for those that are just normies getting caught up in all this political stuff. Okay. If you ask me about politics for myself, I say I'm always be a conservative. That's just what it is with me personally. As far as being Republican, of course, I'm going to vote Republican, but I'm not in a political party. If I was in a political party, it'd be Republican. But me personally, I'm just conservative. And I think we can separate those two things for sure. We can definitely do that. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, the Republican Party has nothing for me if I'm a conservative, because that's just simply not true. But it may be true on the other side of the aisle, because there's an actual civil war happening between the far left and the regular normie left. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.